Mr. Houston. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. I see that you're supposed to be here at 11:50, so I'm going to put you in the waiting room and we'll call you back out when it's time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Mr. Benson, would you turn your video on, please?
Trying to figure out how to do that right now. One second. I'm sorry. Trying to figure out how to do it.
It's okay.
I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
You should see a button that says you've been asked to turn your video on.
It's allowed to take no video and record video. It was
Thank you.
I did
This
turn on.
is, you're good.
Okay.
This is 1S3824351, State of Michigan versus Ronald Leonard Benson. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment pretrial in this matter. It's alleged that on January 5th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you drove with no license or multiple license. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine, and court costs. Was it your intention to proceed on your own this afternoon, or were you looking to have the assistance of counsel?
I was just gonna proceed on my own. I just wanted to get it over with.
I'm sorry, Mr. Benson, I didn't hear the tail end of what you said.
I wanted to proceed on my own because I wanted to get it over with.
Would you state your full name for the record, please, sir?
Ronald Leonard Benson.
Okay, Mr. Benson. The prosecutor is here this afternoon. I'm not sure if it would be beneficial for you to speak with him, or is there already an offer available to Mr. Benson?
Well, I haven't seen these files. Is the driving record lengthy? Is it there? Is the driving record?
It's lengthy.
Okay, no, there's not an offer. It's too long. It's no op, is this? Yeah, no license. He could plead to no ops on person. I think that's a civil infraction. Still goes on your license though. It's abstract.
I understand.
No ops is still a misdemeanor. It just carries no points.
That's the best he can plead to with based on his record.
Ms. Belcher, do you want to speak with him? Would that be advantageous?
I would be happy to explain everything to Mr.
I'm
Benson.
not sure how you normally handle this docket.
As they typically request me, Your Honor, is when they put me in a breakout room, but I just wanted Mr. Benson to know that it's not a civil infraction. It's a misdemeanor. So I'm happy to explain that to him in the breakout room if he would like to speak with me.
Fine.
And Ms. Belcher and Mr. Benson will be assigned to a breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Just press join.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fanto.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak to your client?
No, just if I could speak with the prosecutor,
Who's your client?
Samuel Payne.
Oh, okay. I'll speak to him.
Thank you.
They're going to put us in a breakout room, Mr.
Do you see it there, Jane? Right
Got
there?
it.
Okay, thanks.
Calling 210011 SM, State of Michigan versus Samuel Arnold Payne.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Fant on behalf of Mr. Payne. Judge, could I just be put in a breakout room with Mr. Payne for a brief moment?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Chuck, do you see it? Do you see the invitation?
no.
Hmm.
Hi, Mary Ann.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
I'm good. How are you?
Do you want to just put it on the record, explain it to him?
I'd rather tell him what we're
Okay.
doing here.
Okay.
Did he go into the breakout room and I just didn't, or?
Yes.
Let me just see if I can. Is that room 2?
Yes,
Okay, it didn't pop, but it went into the other. I got it now.
thank you.
Okay, Leanne.
Yes, we're ready on Benson.
Okay. He's going to plead to no ops on person.
Correct.
Back to Ronald Leonard Benson.
Good morning,
Yes.
Your Honor. Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson, can you please state your name again?
Ronald Leonard Benson.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity in the breakout room to go over the proposed plea offer with my client. He wishes to take advantage of the no ops offer with the original count being dismissed.
This was actually scheduled for arraignment pre-trial, but I hear you, Ms. Belcher. Thank you for assisting Mr. Benson this morning. The plea is going to be to no ops on person,
Yes.
and count 1 dismissed.
And for arraignment purposes, Your Honor, we would have waived the formal reading and stood mute.
Thank you. Mr. Benson,
Yes.
your video has gone out again.
I saw it. Let's see if I can get it back on. So start my video.
Yes, please.
Is it back on?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
You heard the comments made by your attorney this afternoon,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's your desire to accept the offer of the people and plead guilty to no operator's license on person?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, you understand that if you plead guilty to this no operator's license on person, that you will have no trial of any kind, that you won't have an opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or testify,
Yes.
knowing that you still wish to plead guilty to the added count of no ops on person?
Yes.
You're doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is it true that on January 5th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, that you had no operator's license on your person?
Yes.
Satisfied, Ms. Gillis?
Satisfied.
Satisfied, Ms. Belcher?
Yes, Your Honor, no additional questions.
Mr. Benson, I'm going to assess a fine of $300. There will be court costs totaling $145 for a total of $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days, or do you need more time?
I just need a little bit more time because I go back to work in about a week, and I've been off for a little bit because of the COVID from work. Just a little bit more time. I'll go back to work and I'll be able to take care of it in a couple months.
Okay, well, let's set up a payment plan. Are you able to commit to a payment within the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
How much?
I could do about $50 if that's okay.
$50 on March the 10th?
Yes.
I'll put that payment plan
I plead guilty to doing
on the file. And a good phone number for you, sir?
734
734
686
686
2804.
2804.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Anything else, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Belcher?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
We're all set, Mr. Benson. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Are the parties ready on Payne?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Your
210011 SM, State of Michigan versus Samuel Arnold Payne.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Fant on behalf of Mr. Payne.
Sir, this matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning.
We'd waive formal reading, stand mute. Mr. Payne is going to plead guilty to unlicensed builder. The matter would be taken under 771.1 for a period of 1 year, conditioned upon Mr. Payne obtaining his builder's license, which he's in the process of studying for now.
Okay, so the plea agreement would state, Your Honor, that he must obtain a building license. If not, the conviction goes on his record.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Was that, I'm sorry, was that a different? Is that different than as he was charged?
No,
No, it's as charged,
Okay, thank you.
but it's just a under advisement. I want him to get that license. They'll force him to.
Mr. Payne, you heard the comments made by your attorney this morning,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you've heard the offer of the people,
Yes, Your Honor.
and it's your desire to accept the offer of the people
Yes, Your Honor.
and plead to being an unlicensed builder, understanding that this matter will be taken under advisement for a period of 1 year and that you must obtain your builder's license.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so long as you do that, then the matter will be dismissed and that you will not face any additional sanctions in this matter.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
That
you.
if you fail to do that, if you fail to obtain your builder's license within a year, a conviction will enter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fansel, do you wish to inquire of your client?
Mr. Payne, Ms. Gillis, what date are you using?
May
I don't
1st,
have-
2018.
Thank you. May 1st, 2018, Mr. Payne, did you conduct certain services that required a building license without being licensed?
Yes.
Satisfied.
Thank you. Mr. Fanta, as to any fine in this matter,
Judge, there was a civil matter attached to this matter, and we've just reached a resolution that Mr. Payne will be paying a substantial amount of money. And so I just ask the court to take that into consideration.
I'd leave it to the discretion of the court.
I'll assess a $200 fine. There's $145 in court costs. Total of $345. Will your client be able to pay that within 30 days, or does he need more time?
He can take care of that within 30 days.
Anything else in this matter, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else for Mr. Payne?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. We're all set. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Gillis. Stay
Thank you.
safe.
Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye.
See you, Jeff.
Bye, Mary Ann.
I'm bringing Mr. Decker in.
Bringing Mr. Decker in. This is 0S3709444A, State of Michigan versus William Henry Decker.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Your name, sir?
William Henry Decker.
Mr. Decker, this matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on May the 5th, 2020, in Van Buren Township, that you operated a motor vehicle without proper vehicle group designation.
It's
This
a
is a
motor
misdemeanor
carrier.
punishable, I'm sorry.
It's a motor carrier. They're hard, difficult cases.
Gonna say this is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of $500 plus court costs. Mr. Decker, were you prepared to proceed on your own this morning, or were you looking for counsel?
I'll go on my own, thank you.
Okay. So as to this matter, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Ask for the arraignment. Is there an offer on this file, Ms. Gillis?
I have not made an offer, but is this your trucking company, Mr. Decker?
No, ma'am, it's not a trucking company, it's a plumbing company. And I was hauling a piece of equipment back from a job site.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to offer him double parking on this.
Mr. Decker, did you hear the offer of the people?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay,
So double parking, is that like no points, or I don't understand what that means, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No points and a fine.
Okay, yeah. That'd be great.
so Mr. Decker, you wish to avail yourself of the people's offer that you will plead responsible to double parking?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
The court will indicate that you're pleading responsible to double parking. The fine is going to be $300. The outstanding misdemeanor matter will be dismissed. Are you able to pay the $300 within 30 days, or do you need to set a payment plan?
No, within 30 days would be great, Your Honor. Thank you.
$30 days to pay. You can either go online and pay, you can mail it to the court, or you can bring it to the court and they'll handle it at the door, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else in this matter, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing.
Anything else, Mr. Decker?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Have a
And I
good
hope you have
day.
a great day.
You too.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bringing in Leon Houston.
Yes, ma'am. This is 200017, State of Michigan versus Leon Houston. Your name for the record, please, sir.
Leon Houston.
Mr. Houston, it's alleged that on December 8th, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle while intoxicated. This matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial. We do have court-appointed counsel available this morning if you wish to speak to them, or do you wish to proceed on your own?
Sure, I would like to speak to somebody because it was so long ago. I don't really
Mr.
know
Houston,
how
I'm going to suggest that you don't
Oh.
say anything else about the matter. Ms. Belcher is here. My secretary will put you into a breakout room with Ms. Belcher to discuss the matter, okay?
And Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Belcher, it's impaired if he wants to take a deal.
Mr. Houston, do you see where it says go into a breakout room or accept? Oh, good. Judge, I'm gonna bring this person in. I don't see them on the docket.
Thank you.
Yes. Hi, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hi, what case are you here on, please?
I'm here for appearing on behalf of Brian Juby. It's case number 210018,
Yep, I see that.
and he's actually seated. He's actually seated next to me.
Okay.
Perfect.
And is this your name that it's listed under? Are you the attorney, Raj?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
This is 210018 SD State of Michigan versus Brian Juby.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Raj Shataria, appearing on behalf of defendant Brian Juby.
Mrs. Tari, do we have an appearance for you?
I did. I just faxed in the advice of rights form and also my appearance.
You
I
need to
faxed
speak.
it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What were you saying, sir?
Oh, I was just saying that I faxed it into the 417530 number.
Matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Saturia?
Yes, Your Honor.
As to the arraignment,
We waive for any formal reading, Your Honor, and stand mute.
as to bond,
Judge, I'd request that Mr. Juby be placed on just a personal recognizance bond.
Gillis,
That's fine. This is his first offense, and this is his first offense, and he appeared by himself. He has a retained attorney. I'm sure we can guarantee that he'll come back. Usual conditions, no drinking, et cetera, et cetera.
Mr. Juby's bond will be set at $5,000 personal. He's not to consume, purchase alcohol during the pendency of this matter. Would you like to discuss the matter this morning, or would you like an adjourned pretrial?
I would defer that to the prosecutor, Your Honor,
Okay.
if she has time. Discuss the matter.
I'll talk to him for 1 second. I'll get his email and tell him what the offer would be. If you
Thank
just
you.
want to put us in that breakout room number 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Belcher, Ms. Gillis is in a breakout room. When she comes back, we're gonna have one case in front of you, and then we'll recall the matter of Mr. Houston.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Misdemeanors down there. Annie has a felony conviction here. So, and let me.
Wait, I'm sorry. So he has the one in Oregon, right?
You're back on YouTube.
Oh, how'd that happen? That was the blood results.
Oh, that was, okay.
Yeah, from the state. I can send you all that. And we can set up another date. How about that?
That'd be good. That'd be great.
Back on the record for Mr. Juby. We can put this
You're-
matter- I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt. We just want another date. I'm going to send him discovery.
We're gonna adjourn to April the 7th, 2021 at 10:45 a.m.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Did you say April 7th?
April 7th, 2021 at 10:45 a.m.
Thank you.
You'll be back with me. Anything else in this matter, Ms. Gillis?
No, what did you say? 321? Is it? No.
I said April 7th,
Okay. Thanks.
2021. I know it's been a morning.
I'm
already.
trying to send stuff at the same time. I'm the discovery and stuff, and the same time I'm talking to you is what.
We're walking and chewing gum. I understand.
Yeah, I have a
Anything
hard
else on
time.
behalf of Mr. Juby?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're all set. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Ms. Belcher is back on recalling Leon Houston 210017.
Yes, good morning again, Your Honor. Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Houston. I know that this is set for an arraignment pretrial, so for arraignment, waive formal reading, stand mute. For the pretrial portion, Your Honor, I do have Mr. Houston's contact information. We would be requesting an adjournment so that I can submit a discovery order to Your Honor for signature, and we can get any and all videos and police reports as it relates to this matter. And I'm prepared to address bond whenever Your Honor is ready.
I'm ready when you are.
We would be requesting a personal bond. Mr. Houston states that he does work at Oakwood Group. He's been there for a significant amount of time. He does reside in Taylor. As far as his criminal history, Your Honor, he says this is his first OWI, and he did have a prior felony, but it was many years ago, and he always appeared at court, so he does not have capious history.
I have no objection to bond, no drinking, no doing drugs, no purchasing alcohol, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I think he had one felony conviction very, very long time ago, like 2013, I think. So no objection to personal bond. And that's it.
Mr. Houston's bond will be 5,000 personal, no drugs or alcohol during the pendency of this matter. The pretrial will be adjourned to April 7th, 2021 at 10:45 a.m. Back with me. I'll make a note that discovery is outstanding in this matter.
Ms. Belcher, what's your email again?
Leanna@belcherlawfirm.com.
Ms. Belcher has already indicated she received the contact information from Mr. Houston. Ms. Gillis, anything further as relates to Mr. Houston?
No, but will you say nothing? Will you say your email slower again? I'm sorry.
You want me to text it to you, Jane?
Yes.
All set with Mr. Houston, Judge?
I believe Ms. Belcher is satisfied. She's sending information to Ms. Gillis. So yes, Mr. Houston, we're all set. You have a good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. We have people in our waiting room who don't have names, so let's get them checked in and we will proceed.
Hi, ma'am, can you hear me? Galaxy S8, can you hear?
Sir with the black sweatshirt, your name, please.
Mark Anthony Brown.
Calling 210019 SD, State of Michigan versus Mark Anthony Brown.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the
Yes,
people.
ma'am.
Mr. Brown, this matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on November 3rd, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle while intoxicated or impaired by a controlled substance, a second offense, that you drove while your license was.
I'm sorry. Go
That's
ahead,
okay.
sweetheart.
You drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied, second or subsequent offense. We have a court-appointed counsel available this morning. I would suggest that you speak with her before this matter proceeds.
Um, can I can I say something, please? I don't drink, so wasn't driving under the
Mr.
influence.
Brown, this is not the time where we discuss that part yet. You're scheduled for arraignment. So this is the first hearing in this matter. What I asked was, would you like to speak to the court-appointed counsel that we have available this morning? Or
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
wish to proceed on your own? You're going to see a button on your phone that asks you to join the breakout room. You will go into a breakout room with the attorney, Ms. Belcher, regarding the operating while intoxicated, second, and the driving while license suspended, second or subsequent.
Yes.
Ma'am, that says Galaxy S8. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
What's your name, please?
My name is Teresa Stallings.
Thank you.
Ms. Stallings, what are you here for this morning?
I'm here to talk on behalf of the Sarah Lynn Stench case. This is case number 20-1193. I wanted to dismiss the domestic violence case on her.
I need a breakout room with her.
I was going to say, I see that you're the victim in this matter. I'm going to have you go into a breakout room with the prosecutor.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Should see a thing, join breakout room.
She'll pop back. Did he leave it?
Yes, we're just waiting for the judge.
Okay.
Ms. Belcher, you're not waiting for the judge. We're waiting for the prosecutor.
Oh, the judge is ready and prepared, sir. We just couldn't see the judge. I stand corrected.
Now. Ms. Gillis is just in another breakout room.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Do you need to speak to her regarding Mr. Brown?
No, Your Honor, he maintains his innocence, so we'll be requesting an adjournment for discovery.
And you've had the opportunity to get his contact information.
Correct. I'm sending that to Marianne in a chat right now.
Okay. We're ready on the stench case.
Not quite yet. Ms. Gillis, we're back on the record as to Mark Anthony Brown. Ms. Belcher is here as well. As to the arraignment in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, we waive formal reading and stand mute.
I'll indicate as much on behalf of Mr. Brown as to bond in this issue.
Your Honor, we would request a personal bond. Mr. Brown did indicate to me that he is unemployed. He collects SSI. He has a hearing disability as well as a bullet that is lodged in his spine, so he has very limited income. As for his criminal history, he did state that everything was some time ago. Obviously, he's in court today to face these charges, and he has every intention on returning.
Ms. Gillis, any comment?
He does have a very lengthy record from another state. It is old, what I'm looking at, but very lengthy and a lot of things. Capital cases, a lot of capital cases. And he has a lot of misdemeanors here in this state too. I would ask for at least a nominal bond and maybe drug testing as part of condition of probation, because it is a OUID is what it actually is.
Huh?
Ms. Belcher?
Your Honor, as I stated, my client does have very limited income. He is zooming onto court today for the arraignment. He's requested counsel. I have his contact information. He's already been punished for the crimes that he's committed in the past and served the time that he's needed for that. I would still argue that obviously with the length and time that shouldn't be used against him. And it probably shows that he didn't have any capious history, since he did indicate to me that he resolved those matters. So he's going to continue to come to court, Your Honor.
Bond for Mr. Brown will be set at $5,000 personal. You are to consume no alcohol during the pendency of this matter. Ms. Belcher has indicated that she'd be seeking discovery in this matter. For that reason, the court will adjourn the pretrial to April the 14th, 4/14/2021 at 8:45 a.m.
Your Honor, can I ask that he not smoke marijuana either? Because I think that's really what it is here, is a marijuana driving.
Oh.
And I would just state, Your Honor, unless he has a medical marijuana card.
I smoke marijuana for my health. I'm not addicted to popping.
Mr. Brown, please don't state anything.
I smoke my
Sir.
weed. Yes.
Please don't state anything further.
Okay. Yeah.
So no alcohol, no marijuana unless medically necessary. Is that sufficient?
Yes.
We'll see you back on April the 14th, 2021 at 8:35 a.m. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
And then Ms. Gillis, for the stench matter, I don't see a defendant.
Yeah, that's a problem. Do you know where your daughter is right now?
She's not in, she's out by Irish Hills past there. So she's always having trouble with her phone connection. Maybe she wasn't able to get on. She's had trouble with other courts too on trying to get into connecting with them.
Is there a phone number, Your Honor, that she can log into maybe?
Judge, there is someone here that's identified as iPhone. I can bring them in and see if this is the defendant, if that's okay.
That's fine, thank you.
Person by the name of Ed Hobar, what case are you here on, please?
The case ID number
What's your last name?
is Hober, Hober.
Okay, hold on, please. Ma'am, with the name of iPhone, can you hear me?
Ma'am with the red shirt, your name, please. While that person's connecting, I'm going to call 210021 State of Michigan versus Richard Butler.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
State your name, please, sir.
My name is Richard Morgan Butler III.
Mr. Butler, this matter is scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on June the 13th, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a second or subsequent offense. Sir, this is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or a fine of $500 in vehicle immobilization. Because this is a second or subsequent offense, you could face up to 1 year in jail and or $1,000 fine plus court costs. There is a civil infraction that accompanies this matter for limited access speeding 6 to 10 over. We do have court-appointed counsel available this morning if you wish to speak to someone or if you wish to proceed on your own. What's your pleasure, sir?
I would like to have an attorney present.
Ms. Belcher is here, sir. You're going to see an invitation to go into a breakout room. Accept that and you will go and speak to the attorney.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You'll see the invitation in just a moment.
Is that driving record available?
I see it. Thank
It
you.
is. Ma'am in the red shirt, your name, please.
Laura Nelson.
Ms. Nelson, you're scheduled at 12:20. If you wait just one moment, we'll get you taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Lance. Mhm.
Hi, Mr. Holber. What are you here for today, please?
I'm here to appear for DST Global Services.
Ah, okay. Okay, that's at 12:20.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in the breakout room and we'll pull you back in when it's time, okay?
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Hold on one second.
Let me mute.
Ms. Gillis, both of the 12:20 cases are here. DST Global and Laura Nelson.
Hi, ma'am, with the name of Teddy and Cheryl. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is for Teddy Robinson.
Okay.
My Zoom was kind of acting up a little bit, my internet. I didn't know if we could call over the phone just to be, I don't know if you have that option.
Yep, you're fine now.
Okay, I just don't know if it's gonna cut back out again.
Okay.
If it does, is there a number we can call so to make sure working down here, but
Yeah, if it happens again, just try to sign back in on how you just did right now.
Arden, you just cut all out.
Yep, just sign back in like you did this time, if it happens.
We're back on the record in the matter of Richard Butler.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Butler. If this is an arraignment pretrial, we waive formal reading and stand mute. I did have an opportunity to speak with Ms. Gillis. What she's offered Mr. Butler and what he wishes to take advantage of is dismissing the speeding 6 to 10 over and reducing the DWLS second down to a regular DWLS.
Mr. Butler, you heard the comments made by your attorney this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
You heard the offer of the people,
Yes,
and you wish to plead guilty to the charge of driving while license suspended with the understanding that the civil infraction will be dismissed.
yes,
Sir, you understand the court accepts your plea of guilty to the driving while license suspended, that you won't have a trial of any kind, you will have an opportunity to call witnesses or present evidence on your own behalf,
yes,
and you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promise anything to get you plead guilty.
no,
You're pleading guilty because you are guilty of driving while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. Sir, is it true? Is it true that on June 13, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes.
Satisfied, Ms. Gillis?
And you were muted.
Satisfied.
Satisfied, Ms. Belcher?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Butler's plea to driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied is accepted by the court. He'll be assessed a fine of $400. Court costs total $145 for a total of $545. Mr. Butler, are you able to pay that within 30 days, or do you need to set a payment plan?
Can I set a payment plan, but it probably be paid off in probably like 60 days.
When can you make your first payment and what amount?
First payment, I could do 150 right now.
Mr. Butler, I'll make a note in your file that you will pay $150 within the next 7 days. So whether you go online and pay it, bring it to the court, or mail it to the court, that'll start your payment plan, and then you'll pay $150 every 30 days after that until the matter is paid in full, okay?
Okay.
Anything else asked to Mr. Butler, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing.
Anything else, Ms. Belcher?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
We're all set, Mr. Butler. You have a good day.
Thank y'all. Y'all all stay blessed.
Thank you. Calling case 192595ST, 192596SM, and 192597SM, State of Michigan versus Teddy Allen Robinson.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Oh, Teddy Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you had previously been arraigned in these matters. A plea of not guilty had been entered on your behalf. Bond had been set at $5,000 personal. The matter had been scheduled for you to reappear on July 10th, 2019. You failed to reappear in all three of these matters.
Can you tell me what cases these are? I don't even recall what this is.
These cases are from June 23rd, 2019. False request for service in ambulance, possession of narcotic paraphernalia, and open intoxicants in the vehicle. The matters are scheduled for pretrial this morning.
I don't remember.
You have court appointed counsel available this morning. Do you wish to speak to counsel, or are you wishing to proceed on your own?
Speak to counsel, please.
You're going to be assigned a breakout room with Ms. Belcher. You see that invitation to join the breakout room, please accept it. Ms. Gillis, this is 0S383691 ST, State of Michigan versus DTS Global Services.
Okay. Are you the owner of Global Services?
No, no, I'm the director of operations.
Is it a corporation?
It's a business, yes.
No, I mean, are you incorporated is what I'm asking.
No, it's an LLC.
What happened? Did you get your plate fixed?
Not yet. We're trying. The company was sold last March, and we've had a number of issues with plating of the commercial equipment, lien letters against it, Secretary of State being closed and appointment only. We have about 70 pieces of equipment here that require plates, and we're slowly making our way through that process.
You just bought the company? Is that,
No, ma'am. The company is owned by the Suburban Group.
Judge, I think when, he's an LLC, but if it's owned by Suburban Group, which is a corporation, I think that he has to have an attorney.
They do.
Yeah.
Mr. Huber, this matter is actually scheduled for arraignment pretrial. What I can do is adjourn it
Okay.
to April the 14th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
So it'll be adjourned to April 14th, 2021 at 9 a.m. Back with me to retain counsel. As this is actually a misdemeanor case. Notice will be sent, please make a record, and whoever appears on April 14th, there'll be an arraignment and a pretrial in this matter, and you will have an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor and possibly resolve the matter, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And then the other matter we had was Miss Nelson. We'll pull her in.
Yes.
This is 182623. State of Michigan versus Laura Louise Nelson. Ma'am, you're scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. It's alleged that on March 6, 2017, in the city of Romulus.
I wasn't in the city of Romulus.
Ma'am, give me 1 second, please. Count 1, motor vehicles acquiring during license registration denial for multiple OUILS or suspensions that you did purchase, lease, or otherwise acquire a motor vehicle while being a person whose operator's or chauffeur's license was suspended, revoked, or denied for a fourth or subsequent suspension or revocation under MCL 257.904, contrary to MCL 2.257.233 sub 6, misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or a fine of $100 plus court costs. What the court's going to do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Ms. Skills, have you ever had the opportunity to review this file?
No, I've never had one of those cases either before.
Only me.
What I can do is reschedule the pretrial of this matter. I know, I see the notes in the file regarding this matter, so if it would be beneficial to continue the matter.
Yeah, I'll have to call my people at the state and figure out what's going on.
Ms. Nelson?
Yes.
This matter is going to be adjourned to April the 14th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m.
Okay.
You'll be back with me. Gonna set your bond at $3,000 personal. I'll give the prosecutor an opportunity to look into the matter. And we'll see you then, okay?
Okay, April 14th.
Ms. Nelson, does your phone number end 1743?
Yep, 9281.
Thank you, ma'am. We're all set. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I just say something on the stench matter? I am gonna eventually dismiss it, but the problem is the defendant's not here. She capiased in January also, and she's on bond and under court order to show up for appearances, so that kind of
I understand.
ticks me
And
off.
that's why I'm waiting, and I'm not gonna do the capiases to the end of the docket.
Okay.
And I see that Ms. Belcher is back with Mr. Robinson.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
Recall the matters of Teddy Allen Robinson.
Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Robinson. Sir, please state your name after you've unmuted yourself.
Teddy Robinson.
Your Honor, we would be requesting another pretrial on this matter so that I can obtain the discovery. Mr. Robinson would like to review those documents. We would ask Your Honor to consider a personal bond. I understand that he did previously capias on this case, but he has indicated to me that he's currently on house arrest on another case out of Wayne County, so he is not a flight risk, that everyone knows where he's located.
Ms. Gillis?
It's no problem. The only thing, is this a local, like a Romulus case, or is this a state police case?
They're written as state cases.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So Leanna, you'd have to go to the state to get that. We don't make files on tickets like those. We just don't. Or you can call me and we'll discuss it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, you know, I'll
Okay.
always do a discovery order if need be.
Okay. No problem. Okay, that's great.
So the
Thanks.
bond's gonna be set at 5,000 personal.
That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Trial adjourned. April the 14th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. Case will be back with me. Mr. Robinson, just for your information, has a pretrial schedule in another unrelated matter on March the 18th. Back in this court. Anything else as relates to Mr. Robinson, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Belcher?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. Robinson. We have people in our waiting room. Let me see.
The one is your 12:30. If you want me to bring that person in.
I'd start bringing him in, Mr. Sellers,
Okay.
This is a formal hearing on a marine safety issue.
Okay.
This is 0W1505 150ON Wayne County versus Aaron Sellers.
Yes.
Your appearances, please.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
I thought I saw the officer here.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. I'm sorry.
No worries. This
Deputy
matter,
Brett-
this matter is scheduled for a formal hearing at 12:40.
Okay, up, your officer, Luther. It's, your phone says something, no, the docket says something else, like MYTCH or something.
Correct. That's Deputy Middich. I'm here as well, ma'am.
Oh, were you guys partners or something?
He was on the water as well with me.
Oh, okay. Mr. Sellers, you just want to go here? I have my officer if you want to go forward with a hearing. It's a 90-day misdemeanor, right?
Actually, a
I
civil
will-
infraction.
Oh. Do you have a ticket, Officer Luther?
I can pull it up. I didn't write the citation. Wayne County Sheriff did. I was just a witness. If I have a copy of the citation, I can pull it up.
Okay.
This is a civil infraction.
Oh.
Mr. Sellers?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure you were with us. Ms. Gillis, were you saying something?
No, the officer's going to pull the ticket up so he can testify as to what he observed on that date and how he violated the Marine Safety Act.
Mr. Sellers, would it be beneficial for you to speak with the prosecutor? Are you ready to proceed with your formal hearing in this matter?
I'm sorry.
I said, are you ready to proceed with your formal hearing in this matter, or do you wish to speak to the prosecutor?
I'd like to speak with the prosecutor.
Okay.
He's going to put you into a breakout room.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to get the officer. It's
Oh,
coming up
okay.
as anonymous.
Shouldn't be. Hi, this is Deputy Middich. My name should be on there. Yep, there I am. Okay.
Are you on two devices?
I am not, ma'am. No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm trying to, there's somebody in a uniform shirt with a Starburst clock behind him.
Yes, ma'am.
That is, yep. That is Deputy Reserve Conflitti, who was with me on the vessel when I wrote the citation.
This is all for Sellers.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Back on the
Officer-
Sellers matter.
Yep. You ready, Officer Luther?
Yes, ma'am. I've looked at the citation that the sheriff wrote. I can testify to what I observed that day.
Okay, what was the date?
It was July 3rd on
Okay,
Belleville.
can
Lake.
Can I go ahead, Your Honor?
Whoever's going to testify, please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Sellers, what happens is the issuing officer goes first, you'll get an opportunity to respond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gillis,
I just have a question. In the middle here is ANON. Is that what officer is that?
Ma'am, this is Deputy Reserve Conflitti.
Okay, are you on this Aaron Sellers case also?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to locate where I can change my name.
Okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna start with Officer Luther. On July 3rd, 2020, were you over on, is it Belleville Lake?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you observe someone do something that concerns you?
Yes.
Okay.
While maintaining the safety zone for the 4th of July fireworks, I observed on the other side of the vessel of where the fireworks were being launched, a red and black wake vessel operating between pontoons at a greater than slow-no wake, creating wake near the pontoons. I observed the sheriff's vessel hit their lights and then make contact with that vessel. Later, they informed me that they wrote that individual a citation for slow-no wake within 100 feet of docked vessels or
Okay,
anchored vessels.
okay. And did you get the, did you eventually learn the name of the person who was driving the boat at a faster speed than allowed in a no-wake zone?
Yes, it was Mr. Sellers.
Okay. And officer, the other officer who's on here from the reserves, were you out there that evening also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what did you observe on the evening of July 3rd?
Well, we were holding the perimeter for the fireworks. We observed a red, what appeared to be a wake boat with a wake border behind it, traveling faster than slow no wake throughout a bunch of moored vessels, less than 100 feet.
Okay, I have no further questions. Mr. Sellers, you can ask these officer questions or you can give your own explanation.
Absolutely. What speed is faster than fast?
Can't hear you right now.
Mr. Sellers, your volume cut out for a second, and who are you directing your question at?
Either officer.
Okay.
What is the speed you guys are saying does it in a wake zone?
I'm sorry, are you speaking to the conservation officer or?
It's whoever.
Mr. Sellers, you actually have to direct the question to one of the
somebody.
witness, to a specific witness.
Okay. What about to the person that's who wrote the ticket? Which officer wrote the ticket?
That would be me. That's Deputy Middich. I issued the citation.
So let me ask you, sir, what is the speed in which is considered a no wake zone?
So anywhere that a vessel is actually anchored, which those pontoon boats were, you have to be more than 100 feet to be great or not to be causing a wake. So not cause a wake is the slowest speed possible to maintain course.
Okay. So with that being said, I heard I was speeding through a wake or no wake zone. Let me first explain. I did not have a wake border behind me. A wake
Mr.
border
Sellers?
is a yes.
Mr. Sellers, right now you're in the questioning phase. If you want to ask questions of any of the officers, and then when you want to testify on your own behalf, we get to that next. So if you have any other specific questions for any of the officers.
Yes. So first off, the speed. Thank you for answering that. Second of all, how are we determining the 100 feet when we're on the other side of the lake?
Well, I personally wasn't on the other side of the lake. I was more closer to you than Conservation Officer Luther was, and I observed your black and red Centurion. Yeah, I'm not sure. I forget if the wakeboarder was behind you or inside you, but you were creating a large wake, and you were cutting in and out of lots of vessel or marooned, anchored, pontoon, and family boats.
Okay. How would I have known that they were anchored?
Were those vessels in motion, and were you actually out there for the fireworks?
Yes. So to answer both of those, they did appear to be in motion, officer. There was several boats in motion. They did not appear to be anchored. There was no anchor lights on the vehicles or on the boats showing that they were anchored.
Anchor lights will have to be on after dusk. It was not.
I get that. I get that.
Mr. Sellers, do you have any other specific questions for either Officer Luther?
No, I guess
Deputy,
I can.
Okay.
I can explain my situation.
Okay. Thank you.
The fireworks weren't supposed to start until 8 o'clock. The timing of this event, there should have been no boat starting to moor. The sun was still open. The sun was still up. It was like probably 6 o'clock, if I remember correctly. Fireworks didn't start until 10, and it was public knowledge that the boats would start gathering around 8 o'clock. We went out for a full day of surfing. That is not wakeboarding. Wakeboarding you do at about 23 miles an hour. Wake surfing is done at 8 miles an hour. I went to go get gas after a full day of wake surfing with my family. I was coming back from Sandy Marina with gas. In the time frame at which it took me to get from that area to Sandy's, get gas and back was maybe a half an hour. Within that half an hour, I already had my daughter on the wave behind my boat. There was boats going towards Sandy's, boats leaving Sandy's. It was a dangerous situation, so I was stopping when I had seen the boats. The boats looked like they were moving, first and foremost. Secondly, when you have a surfer behind you, they are not connected to the boat. There is no rope. There's no rope. There's no way for me to retrieve my daughter while going and having boats around me. The safest thing that I could have done for human safety for my daughter was to allow myself to get through those boats. I could actually stop at that point, and my daughter would then fall into the water, and we throw the ropes out to retrieve her. When the officer was coming my direction, I was already in the process of stopping to get my daughter back into the boat. These boats were not there 20 minutes before when I went to go get gas and come back. They started to moor early, and they were in boating passing lanes, creating a huge ruckus on the lake for the people that were actually out sport or on the waters doing sports versus there for the fireworks. So yes, we were on our way back to watch the fireworks and moor our boat, but at the proper time. So what I did when I had my daughter behind me with the surf boat was to come to a stop. She falls in, and I'm able to retrieve her. Then I have to circle around, come back and get her. The boat continues forward. It was not safe for me to drop, accelerating, and just stop my boat because I wouldn't have been able to make the turn around with all the boats in that area. I'm a very safe boater. I've been on the lake for 10 years. I've never had a boating citation. I take it seriously. I'm out there. I take responsibility for my family while we're out there and other people's safety. I am not the guy that's out there on the lake causing issues. I can assure you. I did what had to be done to make sure that my daughter was not injured.
Anything else, Mr. Sellers?
No.
Any questions, Ms. Gillis?
I have no questions, Your Honor. I didn't actually know that Officer Mitch was there, but I think the other two officers gave good testimony as to what they observed.
Any rebuttal, Ms. Gillis?
No.
Any closing?
No, I just think that that you should find him responsible for the marine safety ticket because the two officers that testified that he was not, he was making a wake in a no wake zone. He's been on the lake. He indicates he's been out there 10 years. He should know how the boats, where the boats moor, where the fireworks. I know that's a big event out there, and he should be prepared to know what was going to be happening there and how boats are going to be mooring there for the fireworks and whatnot. I'd ask that you find him responsible.
Any last comment, Mr. Sellers?
Yes, absolutely. Once again, fireworks started at 10 o'clock. The boat should not have been mooring in passing lanes, creating a traffic jam of people. That's unsafe. And that shouldn't have been done as early as it was done. It was like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Boats did not appear to be mooring, and still don't believe the fact that they were anchored. We should be able to take in consideration of boater safety and my child's safety. Any of the officers that were there would have been able to see this, would have also known that I wouldn't have been able to stop my boat, and my daughter would have saw it, and I would have been able to go back and get her. It was the only choice that I had that happened within 20 minutes of the last time I was in that area.
Oh, okay. Hey, Bill. Sandra's out in the parking lot.
Okay.
Thanks. Told her to have a seat in the car.
Okay, I have her number.
Okay.
I've listened to the testimony of the officers and to Mr. Sellers this afternoon. Mr. Sellers, I am going to find you responsible, not for the fine indicated, but for a fine of $50. There's state court of $10. There's miscellaneous of $20. It's a total fine of $80. Will you be able to pay that within a week, or do you need more time?
Pay it within a week.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Okay, question.
Yes, sir.
This is no points, right? What's the charge?
It's a civil infraction. The court does not assess points. I'm not sure, and maybe one of the officers can respond to that question.
Sure, Your Honor. Any Marine Safety Act citation issued on the water does not affect your driving record. There are no points.
Anything else, Mr. Sellers?
How do I go about when this is over? I call the court. I've tried to call the court, though I can never get access. So how do I pay?
You can either go online and pay it, you can mail it in, or you can bring it to the courthouse. The officers, if you bring it here, the officers will process the payment for you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, officers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Gillis, we have one more
Thank you, Your
case.
Honor.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
This is 20L553984OI, State of Michigan versus Joanna Perez.
and do I have an officer on that?
No, it's a
formal hearing. Should have Officer Millistat.
Thank you.
No, I got Mr. From Ford. He's still out here, right?
This was a formal hearing on a speeding ticket scheduled for 12:30. It's now 12:53 by the court's clock. There is no one in our court Zoom waiting room.
Okay, well, it gets dismissed then.
Ms. Perez, did you hear that?
Yes.
Case dismissed. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
And I'd ask that a bench warrant be issued if we call the stench case.
Calling 201193 SM, State of Michigan versus Sarah Lynn Stench.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people. I'd ask, Your Honor, she hasn't shown up. She has to show up because she's on bond, and we can't resolve this matter until she does. I'd ask that a KPS be issued.
This matter was scheduled for 11:40. It's now 12:55 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, KPS will issue. I'll note for the record, there is no one in the court's Zoom waiting room. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I still have, it looks like 4 cases that may have not been called. Are they KPSs?
The rest of the docket will be a KPS. I know that you have an exam scheduled in 7 minutes. I'm going to do KPS now.
Okay.
I know that you don't necessarily need to be here for that.
Nope, I'm gonna go to the restroom and
Thank
gather up
you.
my witnesses.
I will indicate for the record that there are, thank you, Ms. Belcher, that there are no outstanding, there's nobody waiting in the court's Zoom waiting room. This is, I'm missing a sheet. This is 21L554722 A and B. William Cedric Ackland. There is no one in the court's waiting room. This matter was scheduled at 11:30 this morning. Defendant having failed to appear by 12:56 p.m. KPS to issue in the misdemeanor file of DWLS and civil infraction to be deemed in default. 210014 Roland Berry. This matter was scheduled for 11:40 this morning. It's now 12:56 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. There's no one in the court Zoom waiting room. KPS will issue in this matter. 210022 SD, State of Michigan versus Keith Chapman. This matter was scheduled for 12 o'clock. It's now 12:57 by the court's clock. There's no one in the court Zoom waiting room. Defendant having failed to appear scheduled. KPS will issue. 170399 SM Ivan Dinkins. This matter was scheduled for 12:10. It's now 12:57 by the court's clock. There's no one in the court Zoom waiting room. Defendant having failed to appear scheduled. KPS will issue. 210015, State of Michigan versus Nicholas Michael Larson. This matter was scheduled for 11:40. It's now 12:57 by the court's clock. There's no one in the court Zoom waiting room. Defendant having failed to appear, habeas will issue. 210016, State of Michigan versus Jerry Lynn Nation. This matter was scheduled for 11:50. It is now 12:58 PM by the court's clock. There's no one in the court Zoom waiting room. Defendant having failed to appear, habeas will issue. This is 21WM00096, 7S3141013B and C, A, B, and C. These matters haven't been scheduled for 12:10. It is now 12:58 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, habeas will issue in these matters. That resolves the court's 8:30 docket. There's a better way.
This way, watch your step on the ramp that goes up one day.
Before you have a seat, your first and last names.
Blaine Fee, Blayne.
Last name is?
Fee, Fee.
Sir, raise your right hand, please. You swear from the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You may have a seat. Ms. Gillis.
Okay. Sir, can you tell me, what is your position?
I'm the security and fire department manager for Allied Universal. Contracted by Ford Motor Company, and I work at the Ford Rouge Center.
At the Ford Rouge Center?
Correct.
Okay. And is there point in time where you were alerted to a missing vehicle on one of your lots?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you remember the type of vehicle that was?
It would be a production unit, so Ford F-150 Raptor.
When you say production unit, does that mean it hasn't been driven off the lot?
It means it just got manufactured, yes, and it's on property.
And is it your job to report that car stolen?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And did you report it stolen to the airborne? Okay, what department did you report it stolen to?
Would have been airborne.
Okay, and was that in September of this year? Or I mean last year?
I would assume so, yeah.
And is the value of the car over $20,000? Foundation.
Worked for a security firm that I don't know what he actually does there.
Ms. Gillis.
Okay. Part of your job, do you know the value of the cars that you oversee on the lot?
Yes, every time I report a car stolen, I get the invoice with it. I've never seen one worth less than
Okay, thank you. And Ford Motor Company didn't give anyone permission to drive this car off the lot?
No.
I have no further questions.
Ms. Quick.
I'm sorry, what did you say that the car, you reported the car stolen?
I was asked if it was in September, and I said I would presume so. I can't remember.
You don't know.
When it was stolen?
Or when you reported it?
No.
Thank you.
The car was a 2020?
Right.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fee.
All set?
You may step down,
Oh,
yes.
Thank you.
Deputy Officer.
Do you have a suggestion? Remind me. I'll follow up with you later. Thank you. Watch your step. Hello. It's a weird slant, that's all. Before you sit down, would you state your first and last name for me, please?
Bryce Moon.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm testimony you're giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Have a seat, please.
You state your name for the record.
Bryce Moon.
Okay, and are you a police officer for the city of Romulus?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you working on the date of October 13th, 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get a run to 31737 Ecorse Road in the city of Romulus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and can you tell me, not exact words, but what was the nature of the run you got there? Okay, and so when you arrived at the location, did you enter onto the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what happened when you entered onto the property?
There's a female outside in the front room. Initially made contact with her. I can see the garage is open.
Okay, what did you do?
I attempted to approach the garage. One male took off running towards the backyard. I thought the male out there could
Okay, and you see that vehicle? Do you see that person in the face in court today? Just tell me what he's wearing.
a tan button.
Okay, can the record reflect he's identified the defendant?
It will reflect.
Okay, did you go back to the location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you talk to the female at that location?
Yes.
Okay, and did you ask her permission to look in the garage?
Yes.
Okay, and can you tell me, what did you find when you looked inside the garage?
A white Ford Raptor.
Okay, was it a newer car?
Yes.
Okay, and did you see any parts off that car?
Yes.
What kind of parts did you see off that car?
I don't remember the specifics, but door, a couple of things. I don't remember.
And were they at the location or were they just missing from the car?
They were at the location. We're right next to it.
Okay, and okay, and did you check to see the status of the vehicle? Like, did you check the VIN? Okay, and when you checked the VIN, what was the status of the vehicle? So, okay. I have. Did there come a point in time subsequent to going into the garage that you ended up taking the defendant into custody? No, I said after.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. How long after was that?
So initially, I'm not sure the time of the first call. We went there. Email. And we called back to return. I believe we got a call or she texted 911 around 11:30. At that time.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Officer Moon, you eventually did speak with Mr. But
Yes, ma'am.
did you surrender first via phone? Is that right?
Yeah.
And you were telling me that he ran to get a child support warrant out for him.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had some discussion with Mr. Harris about the truck. Right?
Yeah, I think it was brief.
Did he tell you where the truck came from?
Yeah,
Recall him telling you that it was a guy named King that dropped it off,
yes.
and, basically gave you the phone number for that guy?
While we were talking, he called and he said, that's who he got it from. He said 2 guys and King was one of the guys.
And eventually he told you where the key to the Raptor was, right?
Yep.
And it was what he said it was?
Yep, I am.
The VIN number was intact, you said, right? What was the steering column, was that intact?
I believe so.
Probably,
Yeah.
Did you or anybody else at the team take pictures of that?
I think, or it was either me and my partner.
Like the our pictures,
Yes.
this one's available. And you turn those into the case file?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as you recall, was the tab intact for the truck?
Yes.
And you said that, I believe, all the parts that were removed from the truck were still there on the property.
Yes.
That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gillis?
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Moon. You step down.
This time we're gonna call Detective Froggatt.
You state your first and last name and spell it for the record, please.
K-E-L-L-Y, Kelly Froggatt, F-R-A-G-O-D-T.
Swear from testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. Have a seat, please. Ms. Gillis?
Okay, Detective Froggatt, are you the officer in charge of the case of People versus Jeremy Marshall Harris?
Yes.
Okay, and is it your job to kind of wrap everything together and investigate everything and pull it all together to present to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office?
As best I can, yes.
Okay, and when your officers or when you were assigned this case and your officers found a car, can you tell me, did you look into the status of that vehicle?
The lien.
Yeah, did you look at the VIN number, see, you know, what was reported or when it was reported or anything like that, the background on the car?
Well, the lien work that was provided to me had already been run, and it had been reported stolen out of Dearborn.
Okay. And did there come a point in time where you had an opportunity to speak with Jeremy Harris? Okay, and did you read him his rights before going speaking with him?
Yes.
When you read them rights, do you go down the rights? Do you read them to them? Do you go down them? How do you?
I typically have 2 forms. I have one in front of them, so they can read it for themselves, and I also read it aloud.
Okay. And you ask him if you want to make a statement?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Great.
Okay. And you reduce it to writing or video or both? How does that?
Our interviews are audio and video.
Okay. But not written.
We'll provide an opportunity for somebody that we're questioning to write a statement. It's not a requirement. Sometimes they don't get asked. Usually they don't want to because they know it's being recorded.
Okay. And did you talk to Mr. Harris regarding this Ford F-150 that was found in his garage?
It is.
Okay. And did you talk about the status?
He said that he was asked to remove some parts, which he did, and then when he was asked to remove additional parts, he suspected that the vehicle may be stolen or being some sort of insurance.
Quick.
When you spoke with Mr. Harris, he told you who he received the truck from, right?
He said he received it from somebody named King.
And he told you that this guy King normally drives an F-150. He gave you the address, the phone number, and all the contact information. That's for the stand.
Don't remember. I don't remember specifically if he gave me an address, but he did describe a house in the area. He may have given me an address. I just don't recall.
Did he tell you how, did Mr. Harris tell you how he knew him?
I don't recall.
Do you know if, this, gentleman named King was subsequently found, arrested, or interviewed?
I don't, I did attempt to identify him, but I was not able to come up with, any person based on the number or address that would match the description that I was given.
I have nothing further.
Thank you. Thank you, Detective.
I have no further witnesses, Your Honor. I would ask that the defendant be bound over on the charges contained in the information complaint. I'm just going to go through it briefly, and I'd ask to reserve our rebuttal argument. But under 75535A, which is the chop shop statute, look under 1B, it says chop shop means any of the following, and then subsection 2 says any area of building, storage lot, field, or premises or place where there are 3 or more stolen motor vehicles present, or where there are major component parts from oh, sorry, I wrote it wrong. Any area, building, or storage lot, where premises where there are one or more persons engaged in someone in any way concealing or disguising the identity of a stolen motor vehicle or any major component part of that stolen motor vehicle. So I think there, I think that we have enough for probable cause that he was taking this vehicle apart. They interchange parts. That's how they disguise vehicles. Major component part consists of engine, transmission, fender, hood, door. We heard the officer mention doors. And we heard hood. Hood is one of the ones that is mentioned in the statute as a major component part. And then count 2 and 3 are in the alternative. RNC motor vehicle, RNC $20,000 or more. Mentioned that the value of the truck was over $20,000. It would be either or when it came time for trial to be found guilty. And that the RNC statute only requires that they knew or should have reason to believe that the vehicle was stolen. And I think that's pretty obvious from what we told Detective Audit. That's it, that is to be able to rebut.
Ms. Quick?
We would object to buying over. As to count 1, the operating a craft shop, we would argue that there's a large laundry list of items that I guess would signify whether somebody is operating a chop shop, and what the law requires is that those are the items that be removed. And I think we have testimony that there was a fender removed, and there was no testimony that the transmission was removed, the engine was removed, that the cab or the bed were removed. These are major component parts that would certainly indicate that somebody was moving parts to sell or to tire the car. The VIN number was intact. The keys were with the truck. The steering column was intact. So as to the remaining counts, 2 and 3, we would argue that there is no way that Mr. Harris would have known at the time he received the truck that it was stolen. The man normally drives F-150. He drops off the car, he has the keys. There's no indication looking at the truck that it has been tampered with or stolen. And normal things we would look at is the steering column damage, is are the keys present in the vehicle. All those things were there. And when the officers arrived at the location, all of the components that, or at least the fender that was testified to being removed, and the doors were still there. There's no testimony as to how long the car was, or the truck was there on that property. We don't know if it was 5 days, if it was, hours, but there's no evidence that Mr. Harris would have known that it was stolen until maybe he talks to the officer, and the officer tells him, like, you don't know this guy very well. He dropped off his fancy truck. Maybe you should have known. And sure, at that point, he's talking to the police officer. Quite agree. Yeah, looking back, maybe I should have known. But at the time, when you have keys and the VIN number intact and everything looks good on the truck, how is he going to know? So, Your Honor, we would argue that there is not enough evidence to point to Mr. Harris operating a chop shop, and that there's no evidence that he should have known, or he did know, that the truck was stolen.
His sister knew well enough just by watching what he was doing that it was suspicious activity. I think that anyone, if that's good enough to know, I should know. And Section C, major component part. C4 is a hood, C5 is a door. And it just has to be one or more persons engaged in dismantling, altering, reassembling, or anything like that, in the way of concealing or disguising the identity of the motor vehicle or any major component part. I think it's obvious by taking off those brand new parts off a brand new truck. They were going to disguise the vehicle. A lot of those parts had been there and listed. They've been there, switching around, and it gets confusing as to what truck they belong to. Distributed parts in new trucks. It's very common in chop shop activity.
Thank you, ma'am. Heard the testimony of the witnesses this afternoon. I concur with the people and bind Mr. Harris over as charged. His next court date will be the arraignment on the information down at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. That date will be, I don't know what they're using.
And most courts have just been doing a 1 week, 2 week, in or out, and then it gets switched in.
So we're using March 10th?
They're not interested. Thank you. 2 weeks.
March 10th, 2021 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris's bond in this matter will continue. Don't leave just yet, Ms. Quick. 9. The other matter that I referred to was 194979, City of Romulus versus Jeremy Marshall Harris. This is a case from November 28, 2019, City of Romulus, malicious destruction of property. Mr. Harris had been arraigned in this matter back on October 16, 2020, same date and time as this case. I see your hand up, Mr. Harris, but give me 1 second. He had been arraigned and the notation was that a pretrial date would be determined. It does not look like anyone ever sent him notice that the pretrial date that a pretrial date had been set. So I want to set the pretrial in this matter for April 15, 2021 at 9:30. Back with me.
So is there only, Your Honor, for Mr. Harris to request IDC counsel for that?
There should be someone here on that.
Maybe in the arraignment, but just to be sure that counsel present for him on
The 50. I thought typically they had someone present. They do. And if Mr. Harris needs a notice to appear on that date at that time, I'm going to put a note in the file that the warrants recall, there had been a warrant issued back on December 7th. And as to bond in this matter, in as much as Mr. Harris posted in the felony matter and appeared, I'm going to set his bond at $5,000 personal. See the officer starting to do a notice to appear for the pretrial. Confirm that there is going to be a MIDC attorney present available if he wishes to speak to them about the MIDC case. We got a habit with that. I know, that's why I saw Mr. Harris trying to write down the date, and I figured we have a stack of notices up here. We just haven't had that many in-persons lately, and I think we're just a little out of the habit of having people present.
I'm brand new as of February 2021. It's been a long time. I'll tell you that.